Welcome to another Bible story, your source for inspiring biblical lessons and stories that will transform our faith for better. Today we shall be looking at another story in the Bible. It's how God restored the Israelites and brought them back to their own land through Ezekiel and the dry bones. If this story is for you, please don't forget to hit the bell notification button. Subscribe to this channel so we can continue to bring you more lessons to learn from in the Bible and apply in your everyday life. If you are encouraged, do well to hit the like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, share with families, church groups and friends, to continue spreading the hope of restoration and faith together. Without wasting much time, let's dive into this story. A long time ago, there was a man named Ezekiel. He was a special person because God talked to him and gave him messages to share with others. One day, God had something very important to show Ezekiel. So, God's Spirit lifted Ezekiel up and took him to a place called the Valley of Dry Bones. It was a huge, empty land, and the ground was covered with bones. These bones were very dry, meaning they had been there for a long time. God asked Ezekiel, "Son of man, can these bones come back to life?" Ezekiel wasn't sure. He looked around and saw all the bones scattered everywhere. Ezekiel answered, "Only you know that, Lord." Then, God told Ezekiel something amazing. He said, "Speak to these bones. Tell them to listen to the word of the Lord." So, Ezekiel did as God said. He spoke to the bones and told them that God was going to bring them back to life. Suddenly, something incredible happened. The ground started shaking, and the bones began to move. The bones connected with each other, forming skeletons. Then, muscles and skin covered the bones. And they looked like people again, but they were still not alive. God then said to Ezekiel, "Speak to the wind. Tell the wind to come and breathe life into these bodies." Ezekiel obeyed, and as he spoke, the wind came from all directions. It blew over the bodies, and they began to breathe. One by one, they stood up, alive and strong. It was like seeing a great army coming back to life. God explained to Ezekiel what the vision meant. He said the bones were like the people of Israel. They felt hopeless and far from God, like dry bones. But God promised to bring them back to life, to give them hope again, and to bring them back to their own land. He would be their God, and they would be His people once more. God's message was clear. He can bring life to what seems dead and give hope to those who feel lost. Ezekiel was amazed at what he saw and heard. He knew that God had great power and could do anything. He was thankful to God for showing him such an important lesson. Ezekiel went on to share this message with the people, telling them to trust in God, no matter how bad things might seem. And so, Ezekiel's story reminds us that God is always with us, even when we feel sad or alone. He can make good things happen, even when it seems impossible. Just like God brought life to the dry bones, He can bring joy and hope to our hearts too. This is to encourage you, no matter how bad things are currently right now. Don't give up, always trust in the Lord. I hope this lesson was insight and something to hold on to in our daily life. Don't forget to share this story with friends and family. Until we meet again, stay strong and remain blessed.